would you like to go back to that one?
Oh, sure, if you'd like.
No, just because, it was part of your initial list. So I think the question was, as someone, it was in fact question number 2, as someone in an interracial relationship, can you talk a little bit about your experience around racial relations in the DMV between Filipinos and African Americans? So would that be okay to pursue that question right here?
Oh, sure. It could also it doesn't necessarily have to specifically be African American and Filipino Americans, although in this case it'd be relevant. But just race relations, but like
in general, yes.
In general,
yes.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So let me in answer to the question, let me do a little stage setting here. So Ernie and I started going out in 1976. So that was 3 years after the Vietnam War ended in 1973. And I would say about 8 years after the 1968 race riots propelled by the Martin Luther King assassination. So as a newcomer, I was a bit unnerved, frazzled, disturbed, bothered. I was for being mistaken as for Vietnamese, or Japanese or Chinese or Thai or whatever. So I was also asked a lot of questions if Ernie served in the military. So I guess that's one sure way for Asian women to come over is to marry somebody, an American in the military. So there were occasional taunts, not directed at me, but always within my hearing distance. So I've been referred to as Gook, which I think is not a nice way to call somebody who came from Asia, or statements like, you foreigners take jobs from Americans. I was told by my coworkers to not to make them look bad. I was told to keep pace. Don't make us look bad. During the time, interracial marriages between Black and Filipinos were very rare. I think at that time in where we were in the Lanham, Seabrook, Glendale, Greenbelt area, there were, I think, 3. We were one of 3 Black Filipino families in the area. So we attracted a lot of curious looks when we go outside as a family. We got what we call the triangle look. They start with Ernie, and then they go to me, and they go to the children, and then back at Ernie again. Sometimes they reverse it. They start with the children, they look at me, they go to Ernie, and back to the children again. So our children kept getting asked, what are you, by their classmates? Or where are you from? I mean, really from. So they're not asking whether you're from Lanham or you're from West Virginia. They're asking where your parents are from, So when Ernie was with our light-skinned, straight-haired daughter, you know, of course, that interracial marriage, you never know. You never know how the genes will combine. So you will get a part of this and a part of that, but always the end result is beautiful, of course, right? So when he was with our light-skinned, straight-haired daughter, Ernie would get questions like, is that your baby? You know, so I did get some snide comments, side eyes, as you like, I called it now, from Black sisters who thought I robbed them of their one chance to marry a very desirable Black man. So of course they were right. I got one of the best, I think, but I thought it was funny at the time. So I was a little bit worried about making friends with Filipinos because of my mixed marriage. So my fear, I think, was largely informed by my experiences in the Philippines, where colorism was and still is prevalent, you know, where light skin is regarded as better than dark skin. And perhaps it was a mother's intuition, but I became acutely aware of Filipinos with color bias, with racial bias. I could sense and I could see through how they favor our light-skinned daughter over another who is darker in skin color, or during an unguarded moment, catch a friend saying, I'll disown my daughter if she marries a Black man. So in defense, I think it was a self-preservation move. I quickly steered my family away from such folks because I would not have my husband and our children made feel less than who they are because of their skin color. So Ernie and I made a very conscious effort to stay in Prince George's County. So I'm sure you both know that Prince George's County is predominantly Black. So we stayed for its diversity. We felt that our family will flourish better here than in any other place in the DMV area. We made our first home in Seabrook, a racially diverse neighborhood close to Lanham, New Carlton, Greenbelt, Glendale, Landover. It's a few minutes away from College Park. So yeah, that's where we raised our children. So we are now in Bowie, Maryland, which I'm not sure if you know, is one of the economically successful, predominantly Black community in the entire country. And my children will often remind me that Bowie, you know, where we are, is not the United States of America. So just to kind of keep me grounded. So that's it.